this video, I'll explain where you can find the first quest items you'll need, as well as how you can start earning passive income right away. Getting started can be difficult for many, especially just after wipe, as there will be an influx of players searching the maps for the same items as you. However, for many people, myself included, jumping into combat is not the best way to farm these quest items. So it's great to be able to slow things down and know exactly where to go to increase your chances of finding the right items. Salewas are required for one of the first tasks to accept. They can spawn in a variety of locations, including any medical container, bag or crate, as well as stuffed bags. There are also a lot of med spawns that have a chance of containing a Salewa. Basically, there are far too many for me to cover in this video, but I'll mention a few that are worth checking out. The first is the med camp on Woods, but this camp is normally extremely contested, so expect a fight if you go there looking for loot. Still on the Woods map, we have the user camp as another option with a couple of chances for a Salewa, but here you're also very likely to run into people. On customs, you have the trunk of this car at the military checkpoint with a high chance of a Salewa spawn, and there's also a jacket in there with a high chance for a Dorms 110 key, which you'll need for a task later. We also have an ambulance in front of new gas that can spawn meds in the back, as well as an Emacom key on this seat here that you'll also need later. Stronghold has 2 medical crates, a med bag, and a chance for Salewas to spawn on the bed in this small room. Crack house has a lot of med spawns too, here in the corner next to the med box, and up on the second floor all over this room and in the small room here. On interchange, we have a few good med spawns in the Mantis store, which also holds 2 med containers. However, this is right in the center of the mall, so it doesn't get much riskier, except maybe for the upstairs pharmacy on the opposite side of the Tech Light store. You may have spawns on these shelves and more inside if you have the ultra medical storage key and the power turned on. The Emacom medical room goes without saying, but you'll need the key for this one as well. Lastly, on interchange, we have these 4 ambulances along the western side of the map, all of which have a chance of spawning meds in the back and here at the open door. You can do a nice little route out here, hitting a couple of stashes along the way. Reserve has some decent spawns as well. We've got the second floor of the Black Pawn building with some loose spawns and a med bag. Then there are these rooms in the White Bishop building, which all have a chance for a spawn, and you have a medical crate out by the heli as well as down in the bunker beneath it. Third floor of the White Pawn building also has several med spawns that are worth checking. Now, if you're tired of looking for Salewas or don't want to do it at all, you can also craft them at the level 1 med station in the hideout at the cost of 2 S-March and 2 med kits per Salewa. Next up, we've got Iskras ration packs. You'll need 3 for Jaeger's acquaintance task, which also requires you to obtain some Emilia Rye croutons and large Tashankas. All of these items can easily be found on interchange. The Iskras ration packs have a 100% spawn chance in some of these weapon boxes, so I'll quickly go over them here so you can get an idea of where they are. We begin out here by the power station. Over to the right of it, you'll find a weapon box in this room and 2 toolboxes in the adjacent rooms. Then we move inside and run all the way down towards Emacom extract. In the back of this container here, you'll find the next one. Now we're going a little deeper inside the mall, over through this PC room here, and under the stairwell you'll find another box. And finally, we can move all the way up these stairs, and out here you'll find your final weapon box. Interchange is also great for croutons and Tashankas. For this, you can check out these shelves here in the back of the mall. A lot of people pass through here though, so keep your eyes and ears open. You can also craft this item in the hideout if you want. You'll need the nutrition unit level 1 to do so, but I doubt that'll be necessary. We'll also need 3 gas analyzers, which can be difficult to come by if you don't know where to look. Gas analyzers can spawn at random in most loose tech spawns. They can also spawn in toolboxes, technical crates, and drawers. Personally, I prefer interchange or customs for gas analyzers, but reserve probably has the most drawers, to be honest. You have a lot of loose tech spawns to check out on interchange though, as well as a couple of drawers. Starting at the power plant, we have some toolboxes in here and drawers out back. Moving inside, we have a couple of stores that are worth checking out. German, Rasmussen, National, and Texo on the first floor, and then we have Tech Light on the second floor. Keep in mind that these are hotspots, so you're very likely to meet someone here. If you know where to look, customs is also full of drawers. Out in front of Big Red, we have these 2 blue shacks with drawers in each of them. Across the water, you'll find more inside Crack House on the second floor. Next is Storms, which has 5 locations for drawers. In 3 stories, we have 108, which needs a key, and then we have 117, and inside the front booth here at the main entrance. In the 2-story building, you can find them in room 201 and 204. There are more drawers inside this little checkpoint here, but you need to have the factory key to reach them. On reserve, there are too many drawers to count almost. I'll try to quickly go through all of them, but I'm sure I'll still miss some. In White Knight, Black Knight, and the server building, we actually have drawers on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floor. Then in the Black Pawn building, we've got on 2nd and 4th floor. And lastly, we have a lot of them down in the bunker, but this is an extremely contested area though, so watch out. Once again, we have the option of crafting in the hideout. You'll need workbench level 1 to craft gas analyzers, but this craft takes 17 hours per craft, so you better get started. Another item that can be a challenge to get your hands on are the secure flash drives, which will need 5 of in total for tasks at least. Fortunately, you'll already be searching through drawers for your gas analyzers, and flash drives spawn here as well, so with a bit of luck, you should be able to get them from there. There are also a few loose spawns for flash drives. One is on wood, and if you're in the area, you might as well check it out. In this campsite here, near the lumber mill, flash drives can spawn in the opening of the tent. On customs, there's also a campsite out near dorms on the side between new gas and dorms area. Any computer you can loot also has a chance to spawn a secure flash drive in the front of it. It's a small chance, but it's always worth to keep an eye out for. Safes can also give you flash drives, and customs is excellent in this regard, as we have 7 safes in total on the map. The first is in the back of new gas. For this one, you'll need the gas station office key. Then we've got 5 over in the dorms. In the 2-story building, we've got room 105, 110, and 114. In the 3-story building, you've got them in 204 and 214. Now, all of these safes in dorms are behind locked doors, so you better hit the flea market or start searching up jackets. The last safe on customs is in the Tarcone director's office. You need this key early on for a task as well, so it's a good idea to try and get the items for the barter from therapists. You'll need 2 ice cream, 4 crackers, and 2 squash. Now, I know I mentioned it before, but running Scav on Factory as often as possible is a great way to make some quick and easy rubles. I prefer this because I like to spend as little time as possible on Scav runs, and with Factory runs, the loading is usually the longest part. There are a couple of spots that are worth hitting, and I'll show you my usual route here. I start out with either the dead Scav here or over in the medical tent, depending on my spawn. Then I head downstairs and check out these 3 boxes, and from here, I usually just extract at camera bunker door. If you feel like it, you can also hit up the offices, of course. Now, as promised, I'd like to show you how you can start earning passive income, and all you need is the level 1 generator and level 1 workbench. With the level 1 workbench, you can turn 2 power cords into 8 sets of wires, which is actually going to be a worthwhile craft all the way through wipe. Even if you have to buy the power cords at flea market, the wires are usually selling for a high enough price that you'll always be making a profit. So the only disadvantage of only crafting wires is that it will stop counting towards your crafting skill after the first craft, as you must alternate between crafts to gain skill points each time. However, at lower levels, this is not really a concern for me. Now, running the generator will also cost you some rubles, of course, but you start out with a couple of fuel containers, so you've got the first couple of crafts covered at least. Your only problem now is that there's so much more to learn, and this video is almost over. If you want to learn more, click on this video. Thank you for watching, everyone, and take care.